Dave knows how.
So one of the next things that we did, um, we utilized some old garden hose that I just had laying around the yard. It was full of holes, and I kept saying, I got to take that stuff to the dump. I got to take that stuff to the dump. Well, I ended up using it. This was a good application to use it for because the outside diameter of this stuff is a little bit bigger than the hydraulic hose that we're going to buy for the tractor. So I mounted my valve in here, and then I just took that garden hose and I routed it down, lined it up with the valves up here, and then got it close to where the valve is going to hook, where the hose is going to hook in on the valve down here. Marked it, cut it, and that gave me my length to have my hoses made by. And I just took this with me to the hose place. Told them I need it. I marked it. I need two of these, and what kind of ends I wanted on them and whatnot, and they made them for me. Now all I can do is hope they fit. Okay, so we went on and grabbed the valve, and on these Prince valves, they've got this carryover plug that you have to install in here if you're going to use the Power Beyond feature within this thing. So basically, this unscrews out of here, making this port available, and then it looks like this screws into that hole that's up inside of there. So we'll need another Allen wrench to fit this. Let's see what I got. If I can get him out. Grab that Allen wrench. Yeah, I just wonder how that thing sets in there. You know, what keeps it from vibrating out? You know, because I don't see anywhere where it says to put any tape on it. And I don't see where it says, you know, how tight to tighten it up. And I guess you tighten it all the way up, huh? Like that? I don't know. Didn't really say. This says internal high pressure HP carryover plug must be installed in this valve for Power Beyond operation. It also says that this is equipped with a pressure relief valve. Note, this relief limits the max pump pressure in the circuit. The relief valve is actually optional on this thing because Kubota tractors have a relief valve all along the circuit. It has one right after the pump at the distribution block, and it overrides all of these other valves. So it's not going to allow pressure to build up so much before it dumps back to tank. So you could, you know, if you wanted the relief on this to be less, you could turn it down. If that's what you wanted to do. Well, you know, I mean, it really doesn't say how tight, doesn't have any torque specifications. I can only assume that you just stick it in there and crank it down, which is basically what I've done. Stuck it in there and cranked it down. she's pretty tight now. Alright, let's grab some goodies out of this bag. Had a bunch of stuff yesterday. A whole lot of fittings and so these valves take these O-ring style fittings, and if you're just putting straight connectors on the end of your hoses, you can get the ones that go straight in that have the O-ring on there. But if you're going to use a 90, they was going to have to ship it out and have it done. It's basically somewhere else, and it was kind of pricey, so it was actually cheaper to go with buying a bunch of these adapters and adapting it over, and instead of having nannies put on the ends of the hoses, put straights on the hoses, and then buy these nannies. The nannies to go on, one nanny to go on a hose was like 20 bucks, and the straight was $10, and then this nanny was $4. So I saved $6 on every one of them, which, you know, after you add up all these ends, comes up to right much money. So anyway, we're gonna go through and put these plugs and all of these ports, and then tighten them down. And hopefully get this show on the road. The main ones I'm worried about right now are these end ones, because once this is bolted in place, they're the ones that's the hardest to get to and the hardest to get a wrench on. So these are the main ones that I'm focusing on right now. Just get these in place, and then we're going to go ahead and mount this thing up on the tractor. Let me get a wrench and tighten these down, and we'll get over here on the tractor and try to mount it up. Okay, so we're getting ready to go over there and kind of mount this thing in place. We may put a couple of the short hoses on there first, like this the Power Beyond hose we may hook up on this end. The back to tank hose we may hook up on this end, and we'll go ahead and get the fitting on here, so we'll have that ready to go. But one thing that I wanted to kind of show was worth mentioning is when this thing is up on the inside of the fender of the tractor, there's a piece of steel plate that goes across there, and it kind of made that unlevel. So I cut this piece, it's the same thickness, put some holes in it, and that's going to actually go down here on this end to hold that straight and level. I also cut this piece of stainless steel backing plate, and this is going to go behind the tire up against the fender and bolt through to this, and that's all of this sandwiched together. It's going to give that a little bit more stability and hopefully cut down on any vibration or anything like that, and just give it a little bit of overall stability for when you're actually working these valves. Anyway, I'm not going to record a whole lot of that because it's going to take some finagling. I'm by myself and trying to get the bolt through this, through the fender, through this, and a nut put on it, and my arms aren't but so long. It's going to take a little bit of finagling, and there may be some selective words involved that you may not want to hear. So Let me get that part done and then we'll fire the video back up. Okay, so I got the valve mounted, and then I've just got I've got this hose just sitting here. I've got this hose right here just kind of sitting here, and I'm just starting to screw these two together. And basically what's going on here is this is the power beyond port, this top port, and I've interrupted the line that goes to the backhoe. So I'm coming out the power beyond port, hitting a 90, going down through this hose and back out to the backhoe. This hose right here coming out the bottom, this is the return to tank. And this hose is going to come out of here and it's going to go down and hook back into the tank down at the bottom underneath this floor pan right here on the side of this side of the tractor. So I'm going to go ahead and try to start screwing this on here if we can. It's a little tight. A little bit of a tight fit. Might have should have put this on before I put the other one on. I'd have to take this one off to get it on. Well, you know, 1 step forward, 10 steps back already. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes when you don't know what you're doing, right? Let's see if I can get this thing started. Might be able to get it tight. You don't want to start. Might have to press it in there, I don't know. I think it's actually starting now. Yep. Looks like it is starting now. And we got about 1/8 of a turn, maybe, if that much. Yeah, I wish I had tightened this up before I put this other hose on here. Would have made more sense. I reckon after you do about 10 of these, you probably know what to do and what not to do, right? Well, you know what? I ain't planning on doing 10 of these. I'll tell you, I bought these wrenches from Lowe's. They're cobalt, and they ain't worth a toot. I mean, they look nice, but they're so damn loose that they come loose or they go tight, and then they won't fit. And it's very frustrating, especially trying to do something like this. Of course, you know, it is a spanner wrench, so you can't expect too much, right? Maybe I expect too much out of my wrenches like that. Out of my adjustables. Alright, let's see. See if we can get a good bite on it. Try to crank it down just a little bit. I think that's about it. this one up. Okay. And now we'll tighten this one up. Alright, now that's tight. And we'll get on this one. Hopefully that's tight. I got 2 grunts on it. 2 grunts is what it takes, right? Alright. Now the hose that used to go into here, okay, is this hose right here. This used to go out to the back of it. And I'm hoping, I don't think it's going to be long enough. My plan was that this would be long enough to go into this port right up here. Right up here. But I don't think it's going to be long enough. Why gotta do that to me? Let me see if I can, maybe if I do a little bit of rerouting down here. Get a couple more inches out of this thing. I don't know. Ain't looking good. Let's see what we got. So, yeah, that might work. That might work. Let's see. Everything get to come out. So basically, that's going to screw up on here, like that. And then this is supposed to screw right in the back. And it actually looks like it might even make it. Ain't that something? Look at that. It actually went. Tell you what though, I didn't have much room to spare, did I? Yeah, I didn't have much room to spare. I reckon that thing will be alright like that. I hope so. Because that's kind of how it's got to be. Unless I order a whole new line just to get another inch. Which that line looks like it's, the outer jacket on it's a little bit cracked. So it might be getting ready to need to be replaced anyway. So let's see, this tightens up that. And then this tightens up this. Now, let me see, let me loosen it back up. Push it on over there. Alright, that's a little better. That's a little bit better. Alright, I think I got that. So, the hose that went out here and plugged in, screwed into here to feed the backhoe, I took it off of here and I went into this side of the valve. You know, really, I could have went in right here. That thing being short, that would have given me a couple more inches, but I got to go into here, and I don't have a whole lot of clearance. And I'm hoping, you know, hoping my line measurements and everything works out like it's supposed to. I guess we're gonna find out here in a minute. Woo! Starting to warm up a little bit out here. Alright, so we're running out. Put this on. And that's that, and that's that, and that's that. Set these two down right there. Let's see what kind of view we got. Not much of a view. So what I'm doing is going on and putting these on here. And it looks like that they actually shorted me a hose. So I'm going to have to go back and get them to make me another hose. But basically, these two hoses, they're going to mount just like right down in here. So we'll start these on here. Put those on there. I'll put the bottom one on first. Put the bottom one on first. Alright. And this one. Let's see. Let me go ahead and tighten this one up first. Tighten that up first, and then put this in. Okay, so we should be good on that. Now we gotta hope that these are gonna fit. That looks like they're gonna be plenty long enough to fit. Yeah, they're gonna be plenty long enough. So basically, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this on here, and we're gonna put this one on here. I'll even loose a little bit so we can adjust them. And then they're gonna go right there. But before I hook these up, I'm going to go ahead on over there and read the instructions. See if I can find out which one of these valves is live when this thing is in that direction. And that way I can set both of them the same. Go ahead and read the instructions.
Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.